Hey everybody, welcome back to my MLB 14 franchise mode for the Toronto Blue Jays, my beloved Jais Bleu. Sorry, this episode is taking a little bit of time to sort of go up along with the previous episode, but summer's been keeping me busy, which is great, and I think things are going to be a little bit easier now. I've actually completed the 2014 season, so I'm hoping to release an episode every other day. And if I'm being super ambitious, maybe every day, at least for like the next week, just to get through the 2014 season. But we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos so far. And as always, please, if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Love everybody's feedback because I like to see what you guys are enjoying and what you guys want to see more of in this franchise mode. So, today's episode is going to see us go through the July 31st non-waiver trade deadline. As you can see in the background, some of the trades that I tried to make. Now, I wanted to upgrade the team, but it's important to keep in mind I've kind of been following the Operation Sports trade spreadsheet in order to keep this realistic, because as you can see, the trade engine in this game, as great as it is, a lot of fun on the field, but and even the franchise mode is good, but the trade engine is terrible in this game. They really need to find a way to kind of like improve it, because otherwise you can just abuse it and build up a superstar team in no time at all. So I'm trying to use some restraint in order to maintain my enjoyment of this franchise and hopefully maintain your viewing enjoyment as well. So, the episode's going to cover the July 31st non-waiver trade deadline, and we're going to follow that up with extended highlights from the game of the month of August against the divisional rivals, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. And you'll also get short highlights from the finale of that series as well. And won't see the summary of August in this episode. We're going to save that for the following episode, which will summarize August and get us primed and ready for that playoff push in September. It's going to be a tight race. I think Baltimore is up there. The Red Sox are in it. The Yankees are terrible. You can see in the background we've got some great starting pitching this season, so that's been good. R.A. Dickey has had a crazy good ERA, but his stats have dropped significantly this season. He's like 66 overall. I think by the end of the season, he ends up being 62 overall, but he's still somehow trucking along with, Cy Young-ish numbers. So, despite those ratings, and this is one of the aspects of the game that I like, is that the ratings don't always reflect the quality of the player you're going to get, good or bad. So, despite his steep ratings drop, I've decided to keep him in the rotation as our number one guy. Juan Francisco, a guy who's having an okay season in real life, I had to drop because he's just been terrible for us. So he's moving to AAA, and I've called up Steve Tollefson to give us a little bit of depth. He's kind of a utility guy. He can play the majority of the infield and the outfield, so he gives us a little bit of flexibility. And he's also a right-handed bat, which we are lacking, despite the fact that we have Batista and Encarnacion. We don't have a lot of kind of average right-handed bats, but we do have a couple of switch hitters in Melky and Reyes. So it's just a lot of tinkering at this point. As you can see, 66 and 44. We are 20 games above 500, 22 games above 500. So we're having a pretty good year so far. If the real-life Blue Jays were doing this, I would be psyched. That being said, it hasn't necessarily translated into a huge lead for us in the AL East. So we're still kind of battling here alongside I think the Bo Sox and Baltimore. And yeah, as you can see, the Red Sox are only 2 games back right now. So it's a pretty competitive AL East. We got a couple of updates here about some relief pitchers. AJ Jimenez, a guy who I'd like to see improve his potential, because right now it's a C. I'd like to see him go up to a B, because we don't really have anybody in the minors who who's a decent prospect and who plays catcher. Brandon Morrow, as you can see, exceeded expectations so far. He's had a pretty good season, sub-4 ERA, and he actually has lasted the whole season, hasn't been injured. So he might see. I guess that means he's seeing a potential. No, the stock is rising message is the potential boost. So he's probably not seeing a potential boost, but he is likely to if he continues to keep this up. So it's the game of the month time, and as you can see, it's going to be Nate Karns and Marcus Stroman making not only his first major league start for the Toronto Blue Jays, but also making his major league debut today as he faces the division rivals, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. So Stroman, I decided to put in simply because we've got Hutchison, we got a lot of righties, we got Burley, he's pitching well, Dickey's pitching well, but Happ is kind of our fifth guy, and he's been rotating with Redmond, and you know what, I wanted to see what Stroman could do. He's pitched well at AAA, I think he's done all he can do at that level, and he's now a 78 overall. I mean, just by overall on this team, he's grown quite a bit this season, and I think he's like our second best pitcher. I think it's him, it's Morrow, Stroman, and then Burley as far as the actual overalls go on our team. So it seemed like a good time to bring him up and see what he can do, especially when I'm going to be playing this game. So we got a pretty standard lineup going here, and Stroman starts off the game well, getting out of the inning pretty easily here. We see the lineup, it's pretty standard. Reyes and Melky, the top of the order with Batista. I've got that Lind in the middle, the Lind batting cleanup in the middle of Batista and Encarnacion, because I like having a lefty in there in case the CPU wants to bring in kind of a situational lefty to face us late in the game. They know that they're going to be facing a righty at some point, and we see Stroman just a great debut. I mean, if he can pitch like this, we're going to be in for a treat here. He's allowed 2 hits so far, but the strikeouts have been piling up. He's been great. We turn now to Edwin Encarnacion in the bottom of the second. Game's still tied here, and he is put on base. Josh Thole then walked with the bases loaded after Encarnacion is walked. I skipped ahead a few batters in case you guys are wondering, and Encarnacion scores on a bases loaded walk from Nate Karns. Not impressive. Jose Reyes says, I want in on this. He loops a single into center field and drives in a couple of runs here to give us a 3-0 lead as Brett Lawrie, the ever-excited Red Bull drinking Brett Lawrie, crosses the plate. 2 on for Jose Batista right after that, and he just bats one over the right field wall. That was opposite field, actually. A good amount of power for Joey Bats there as he tacks on another 3 runs to our lead. We skip ahead here. Stroman still cruising 9-0 at this point for the Jays. You can see Nate Karns did not have a good day here. This, I believe, is the only run to score. But no, it isn't, because Joey Bats, using the arm, great defense, just leaping forward, propelling himself forward. He guns down the runner at home plate. What a play, what a throw from Batista. A 33-year-old is still a great outfielder. And Santos coming in here, 13-3. He closes out the game. Stroman happy. He gets his first major league victory. 1-0 in his first major league start. A terrific debut for the youngsters, so we're happy to see that as he goes 6 innings, 7 Ks, allows 1 earned run on 3 hits, 1 walk. Josh Thole, 2 homers, 6 ribbies. Definitely deserving of the game, player of the game, excuse me. And nice to see him getting in on the action. A good lefty bat here who doesn't get to play very often for us, with Deoner Navarro as our starter. can see, the Rays didn't really put up much of a fight here. Ultimately, they tacked on a couple of late runs in the 9th, but you know, when you're up 13-1 by the 7th inning, the game is pretty much done. Batista, 3 ribbies today. He had the homer, which you guys saw. A few too many strikeouts, though. I didn't like that. I'm still trying to adjust to the hitting here. 13 Ks, something I'm going to try and work on, but Toley's been having a pretty good year. He's got 4 home runs now in the season, and he doesn't play every day, so that's good to see. He's hitting almost 300. And Sergio Santos, there's a guy, every time I play with him, I find his control is lacking. Anyways, this is the rubber match here. I'm showing this to you guys because I simmed the first game. We lost that. We creamed them in the second game. And you see here, just not a good start as Melky overruns that ball. I actually thought he had it and didn't realize clearly until well after. I think a couple of runs score there. And we're not having a good day here as we're already down 7-0. Melky trying to throw the runner out at home, and the throw is way behind there, no chance. Will Myers scores on that play, and it's 8-0 as we go into the bottom of the second on 5 hits, so not a good day for us. Navarro striking out, and that is the end of the game. Not a whole lot would change from the first and second innings here as we end up having the favor returned to us as Eric Bedard gets a complete game here. I don't even know if it was a shutout, to be honest. Might have been. Outfield celebrates, and yeah, Eric Bedard, the shutout, 8 Ks, 9-0 final. Dustin McGowan last 1 2/3. Not a good day. This is my first game back after a long break, so probably a little bit rusty, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Anyways, guys, we're coming to the end of the episode, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one as we summarize August and get into September. Take care, guys.